Let's find our seat, rooting down into the earth through the sits bones. Finding that length and that lift through the spine. You can close your eyes or just soften your gaze towards the mat. And let's take a moment and slide the shoulders up towards the ears and just gently press them down back. Letting the shoulders and the arms be heavy, finding length through the back of the neck. Hands can stay where they are. You can take one hand to your heart, one hand to your baby. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale deeply, feeling the breath underneath the hands. Exhale everything out through the mouth. Gently hug your baby in. And as you begin to deepen your breathing, breathing in and out through the nose if that feels comfortable for you. Letting the teeth gently fall away from each other. The tongue relax towards the roof of the mouth. Just noticing how the breath moves through your body. Imagining that you're breathing down to your baby and your breath is covering your baby like a warm blanket. And as you exhale, feel your baby's energy moving towards your heart. Gently hugging baby in. Inhale, float the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, inhale, arms float overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Releasing the hands to the knees. Seated cat-cow tilts. Press the tailbone back. Belly spills forward. Heart lifts. Exhale. Lift your pelvic floor. Hug your baby in and up as you bring the chin to the chest. Inhale. Press the shoulder blades together. Exhale. Hug your baby in and up. As you exhale, really press all of the air out of the lungs. When we exhale fully, we're starting to engage the transverse abdominals, the pelvic floor, we're working the diaphragm. Fill up the lungs completely. So as we inhale, the diaphragm presses down gently. And then as we exhale everything out of the lungs, the diaphragm lifts up. The pelvic floor mirrors the diaphragm. So breathing is pelvic floor work. If we breathe diaphragmatically. So let's take one more. Just playing with that visual. And finding neutral spine. Once everything is stacked up, we're going to take the hands out. Plant the left hand or the left fingertips. Reach the right arm up. We're just going to hang out here for a moment, rooting the hip down, reaching up through the fingertips. You can turn the head around to work into the neck. And then inhale, pull yourself back to center, switch sides. Left hip stays down towards the floor, reaching up, maybe reaching over. Breathing into the side of the body. And inhale, come on back. Let's change the crossing of the legs. We're gonna take an easy twist to the left. Left hand is gonna slide behind us, keeping that length and that lift. And the right hand can stay on the right leg. Gently twist over the shoulder. Breathing into this twist. Inhaling for center, exhale to the other side. Let's twist again over to the left. Inhale for center. Twist and hold, couple of breaths. And last, twist over to the right. And come on back to center. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. One more time. Up, back, and down. We're going to take the left hand and we're going to imagine that we're putting on a really tight glove. So I want you to kind of really get in there and you're peeling this glove onto your wrist all the way up towards the elbow, and then you're going to peel it off. So you're really massaging into the hand, the wrist, and the fingers. This helps with circulation and swelling. It just feels nice, especially if you have any carpal tunnel going on during your pregnancy. One more moment here. And then we're going to shake it off. So you're just going to shake that pull out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Just peeling, massaging up towards the elbow, and then back down. So when it's hot like this, just make sure that you are doing things to just move your wrists, your ankles, your feet, elevate your feet, getting water if you can, and then staying hydrated. Getting electrolytes is really important. I recently shared, if you're on Instagram, like an electrolyte drink from my acupuncturist. Super simple. I think it had mint and cucumber in it. Something like that is going to be really helpful at helping with swelling. So water is great, but getting electrolytes is even better. And then we'll shake this one up. We're going to now slide the left leg out at a slight angle. Right leg's going to come in. Flex through the toes. So sit up nice and tall. Make sure you're rooting down through both of your sits bones. Keeping the length, we're just going to come forward. So we're not rounding the spine at all. Spine is long. Lean forward. Hands come forward. Press your tailbone back behind you as you try to lift through the chest, through the crown of the head. And just take a few breaths here. Energetically sliding the left leg into the hip socket. And then we'll walk the hands back. Take the right hand slightly behind you. Spread the fingers. Reach the left fingertips up. From here, we're going to draw circles with the ankle and the wrist. Take it in all directions. Really simple ways to boost circulation Finding stillness. I'm going to give you two options here. Option one is to maybe draw some circles with the arm. You can kind of play with that. Option two is to come up into side plank, coming up onto the knee and the inside of the foot. Hugging your baby in. You can take this arm wherever you like. You can be still, just opening up here. If you're lifted, you're gonna lower down nice and slow with as much control as you can. And then we're gonna swap the legs out. You wanna flex the toes, root down through the sits bones, hinge forward, and then bring your hands forward. Slide your sits bones and your tailbone towards the wall behind you and continue to lift and lengthen up through the front of the body. Energetically sliding the right leg into the hip socket. And then we'll bring it back. Take the left hand off to the side and slightly back. Really spread the fingers, especially if you're gonna come up into plank in a moment. We're gonna reach the arms up and then draw the circle with the ankle and the wrists. I'm just breathing, trying to stay soft. And then you have the option to find your stillness and draw your circles, opening up into that shoulder. We're coming to the inside of the foot and up onto the knee. Hug your baby in for your side plank. Wherever you want to be, just kind of playing with it, noticing what feels good to you this morning. And we'll eventually lower down with control. Last thing here, we're going to take the feet out wide. Once again, flex the toes. This time, take your hands down by your side to give yourself a little bit of height, length through the spine. Options, stay here. This is one option. This feels like work to you. You can hang out here. You can also lean back. So if you've been feeling really tight in the chest, maybe you just want to open up this way. If you've been feeling really tight in the back, maybe you want to hinge at the hips and come forward. If you have a block or a prop, you can also bring that in front. But again, we want to keep this spine long, so we're trying not to round. You're only going to come forward as much as you have space for. We'll take a few breaths here. And then slowly come back to center from wherever you're at. We're gonna bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, hands to the shins. We're gonna do a couple cat-cow tilts. Inhale, press your tailbone back, let your belly spill forward, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, hug your baby in, chin to chest. Engage that deep core. Inhale, exhale. Exhale everything out. Take one more round. Come on back. So just a random note that came to mind while we were here. When you round your spine and you're pushing out all of that air, you should maybe feel a little engagement through the transverse abdominals, the abdominals that wrap around the back and come towards the belly. So if you feel that engagement, I want you to think about that. Those are muscles that you're going to use when you push. So when you're pushing, you're using your diaphragm and your transverse abdominals to help push baby out. So we push out all of that air. That engagement helps push baby down. So when you're starting to think about what it's going to be like to push, that is something else that you can use to push more efficiently. So using those internal deep core muscles. So hopefully that makes sense. But if you have questions, you can let me know after class. So let's go ahead and transition into table. Some days I feel like I totally have teaching online down. And then some days I feel crazy talking to a computer screen. And I can kind of see you guys on the side. So we're gonna spread the fingers, find that length, gently hug your baby in, shoulders back. Starting with free movement this morning, just start to move in any way that feels good. So maybe you wanna rock the hips, draw some circles, some figure eights, some pelvic tilts. Just starting to tune in. How are you feeling this morning? How's your body? What does it feel like you need? Another breath or so, and then eventually find your way back to center. We're gonna take the left foot back behind us. Toes are gonna stay on the mat. Curl the toes and push the top of the mat away from you. You can get a nice stretch through the back of the leg. Lots of length through the spine, through the back of the neck, shoulders away from the ears. Just keep pressing into that back foot. Stretching into the calf muscle here. Release that. And we'll take it to the other side. Curl the toe, push the top of the mat away. And release that. Walk the hands over to the right. If you have props that you'd like to use, you can grab them here. We're gonna step the left foot forward. So the ankle and knee are on top of each other. There's plenty of space for baby here. Hands are in the inside of the front leg. Go ahead and press yourself up coming into your lunge. Hands to the hips, just gently sinking in. Pressing the hips towards the midline. We want everything really stable through our center. Float the arms up, relax the shoulders. We're gonna interlace the fingers, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, slide the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Reach the palms forward and up. Forward and up. One more time. And up. Release your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, press your shoulder blades together, open through the heart. Take a nice deep breath here. Release the hands. Float them up one more time. Take a little back bend. Hands come down to the inside of the leg. We're just gonna walk the foot over to the left and the hands over to the right. So lots of space for your hip circles. Just drawing your circles. You can take that right in at an angle, or right ankle in at an angle if you'd like. You're also welcome to come down to your props or to your forearm. And move in the opposite direction. Bring it back to center, slowly stepping that left foot back. Curl the back toes, sit back towards your heels. And just sit up nice and tall. If you need to, you can release this. You can always come to your knees or untuck the toes. We're gonna bring the hands together, interlacing the fingers, drawing some figure eights. Take it in the opposite direction. Just trying to breathe through any discomfort that wants to creep in. Couple more breaths. Release the hands, shake them out. Take a nice deep breath in. Big sigh out. Okay, let's get out of here. Come on up, shake that out, curl and uncurl the toes. So that's a nice foot stretch, helps with circulation as well. And now we're gonna come up to downward facing dog. Take the feet nice and wide, hug your baby in, lift your hips, and just take a moment and walk it out. Keep your feet nice and wide. We're gonna take a soft bend in the knees, walk the hands towards the feet. Keeping that bend in your knees, just bring your hands straight to your thighs and come up into your half squat. From here, we'll press into the thighs and come all the way up to stand. Just take a moment here, press the palms out, drop the chin a little down towards the chest so the back of the neck is long. Make sure you feel grounded, stable. And when you're ready, we'll start to flow. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart, sink back into your chair. Float the arms forward and up. Sink back into your chair. Couple rounds, moving with your breath. Next time you come into your chair, you're going to drop your hands to your thighs. Standing cat-cow tilts, lift your heart. Exhale, hug your baby in. Inhale, everything relaxes. Take one more round wherever you're at. Pressing into the thighs, coming all the way up, sweep the arms up. You're gonna fold forward, so if you need to take your stance wider, feel free. Lots and lots of space for a baby. You can take a soft bend in your knees as you bring your hands to the floor. So the knees are out, belly's inside. And then we're gonna walk the hands to the top of the mat. Coming back to down dog for a moment, rocking the hips. And then slowly releasing the knees down. Walking the hands over to the left, step your right foot forward. Ankle and knee are right on top of each other. Take your time as you come up into your lunge. Pressing everything towards the midline, starting to feel stable here. When you're ready, you're gonna float the arms up. Take a bend in your elbows, bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Forward like this. And then we're gonna draw these big circles. If you can, try to get the elbows to touch at the front and really press the shoulder blades together as you roll around towards the back. Taking it in the opposite direction. Really exaggerating this movement. And then you're gonna float the arms up towards the ceiling. Hands behind you, interlace your fingers, opposite thumb is gonna come on top. Press the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. Take a deep breath. Release the hands, float it up, little back bend. Hands come down to the inside of the foot. You're gonna give yourself space for your hip circles. Walk the foot out, maybe turn the left ankle in, and then just draw your circles. So as you do this, very gently hug your baby into the back of the body. Feeling that decompression in the low back, taking the weight of baby off the back of the body, opposite direction. And coming back to center, carefully stepping the right foot back. We're going to take the knees nice and wide. Find your version of child's pose. So you can come all the way back. You can stay lifted on your hips and come to your forearms. You can make a pillow for your head. Softening into this pose. Breathing all the way down past your baby into the bowl of the pelvis. Thinking about the breath once again. As you inhale, feeling expansion through the ribs, the diaphragm gently presses downward. The pelvic floor presses downward, gets a nice stretch. As you exhale everything out of the lungs, the diaphragm gently lifts, the pelvic floor gently lifts and engages. Putting yourself back up into tabletop. We're going to find a squat at the back of the mat. So curling your toes, coming back into your squat. Your heels may or may not be on the floor. That's okay. Spine is just long. If this squat does not feel good, you're going to come up into a half squat instead. So where we were earlier. Just breathing wherever you need to be. Jaws relaxed, pelvic floor is soft. If you're in the full squat, you're going to take your hands to the floor. Press your hands into the floor. Come up halfway. Press your hands into your thighs. Come up all the way. Shake that out. Let's go ahead and shake it all the way to the top of the mat. Coming into your Tadasana. So you feel really grounded and rooted here. We're going to start to find a little bit of a flow. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Sink back into your chair. Hold your chair. Hug your baby in. We're going to step the right foot back for warrior one. So it's still a wide stance. We're just stepping the foot back and then sweeping the arms up. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. Exhale, soften into the elbows and press the shoulder blades together. Open the chest. Inhale, float it up. Exhale, hands slide to the heart. We're going to take our back foot and make it parallel to the mat. So we're coming into warrior two now. Cartwheeling the arms out, settling in to the hips. Good. Reverse your warrior, turn your palm, sweep it out. Backhand comes wherever you like. Inhale for center. Forearm to thigh, backhand can drop to the hip. It can reach up or it can go over the head. Lift your heart, lift your baby up towards the ceiling. Try not to dump into that front leg. Inhale, float it up. Turn the palms towards the ceiling. Everything floats up. Settle back in. Bring your hands to your heart. Pivot your toes out slightly. We're going to find a flow. We'll do 2 rounds of these, nice and slow. Float the arms out and up. Sink in, bend the knees, arms reach out. Press the palms away. We're going to exhale, straighten the legs, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, the left arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling, belly stays pointing towards the floor. Exhale, opposite arm floats up, twisting to the upper torso. Release, bend into the knees, press yourself all the way up, arms sweep up towards the ceiling, hands slide back to the heart. Pivot your Left toes out, sink into your warrior. So you can adjust that back foot so the heel is pressing towards the wall and sink back in. Float the arms out, we're in warrior two, facing the opposite direction. Reverse, turn your palms, sweep it up. Or can you create some space here, staying really grounded through your feet. Inhale for center, taking your side angle. The back arm can come wherever you'd like. Just try to lift your baby up towards the ceiling. Inhale for center. Palms up, deep breath in, float everything up. Exhale. Release your hands. We're going to transition to warrior one. So it's kind of a weird transition. It's just easier for us to stay facing forward. So you're just going to transition your foot out and then let your hips square forward. So I like to walk the right foot out towards the edge too. So everything is squaring forward, belly button's pointing straight ahead, arms sweep up. We're going to grab the wrists, the arms, the elbows, whatever you can grab. And you're going to try to just open up here. Shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Release the arms. Take a moment, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Putting all your weight into your front foot. You're going to step to the top of the mat. Take your hands to your hips and just draw some circles. Take them in all directions. Find your way back to center. Shake that off. We'll turn to face forward. So we're going to do eagle pose. Lots of poses today just help with circulation. So we're going to root down through the left foot, soft bend in the knees. Cross the thighs and press the thighs together as you sink in. Maybe you just hang out here, press the thighs together. Maybe you want to play with your balance and lift the toes. Maybe you want to take the wrap, left elbow on top. Breathing, pressing those thighs together, sinking into your chair. Very slowly unwind. And we'll ease into the other side. So rooting through that foot, soft bend in the knee, cross it over. So we really want to press the thighs together as you sink into this little chair position. And then maybe you just hang out here. You can lift your toes, you can take the wrap. It's okay if the arms don't completely wrap, they can just kind of press towards each other as well. Very slowly unwind. Shake it all out. Whew. All right. So we're going to step to the back of the mat once again. Take the feet nice and wide. We're going to come down into squat. So the squat that you came up from is the squat you're going to come into. So if you came into the half squat, you can come back into the half squat. If you came into the full squat, come back into the full squat. Try to untuck your tailbone, find that length through the spine. So you're going to really get that nice stretch through the pelvic floor. So if we tuck the tailbone under all the time, the pelvic floor gets really tight. Take a nice breath here. And then eventually you're going to take your hands to the floor, just like we did before. But this time you're going to walk yourself forward, bring those knees down. Come into tabletop. Maybe draw some big circles, rock the hip. And then we'll come on back to center. Take the feet off to the side and find a seated position. So sitting up on your props, if you have any handy, can be anything that you have around. So we're gonna do a hip stretch, starting with figure 4. The left foot's gonna come to the floor, and then actually the right foot is gonna come to the floor, and then the left ankle is gonna come onto the thigh. So if it's hard to get it there, you can kind of lift your hips to find it. The left leg or the right foot can slide away from you. It can come closer to you. And then maybe kind of rock a little bit. If this is intense, you can straighten that leg all together and hang out here instead. You have the option to just stay here. If you feel like you want a little bit more and you want to come into fire log pose, you're going to take your right shin parallel to the top of your mat, and you're going to keep the ankle stacked on top of the knee. The toes are flexed. And then we're stacking everything up. So I have this space here. It's kind of hard to see because I'm wearing black, but my knee doesn't quite stack on top of my ankle, and that's okay. I'm just going to energetically kind of press it away from me, but not down. Just trying to stay soft, trying to breathe into whatever sensations you're feeling. If you feel any pain, you want to come out. So it's just a stretch. You don't want to feel pain in the knees, the ankles, the hips. And very slowly, we're going to release. So wherever you're at, let the legs come forward. And just shake it out, let that go. So we're going to start with a figure 4 stretch on the opposite side. Just hanging out here, rocking in and out a couple times. Lots of lift through the heart. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is where you want to stay. That's okay. Otherwise, you're going to take the left shin parallel to the top of the mat. Keep the ankle stacked on the left knee. Toes flexed. And you're just trying to stack the hips. And that movement is from the hips, not from the knee. We're just breathing here, trying to stay soft. This is a pretty intense stretch. Creates a little bit of heat in the body. Take a nice cleansing breath here. And then let's let it all go. Shake it out, massage it out, wherever you're feeling it. And we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. You're gonna take your hands and kind of open your feet like a book and just start to massage out the feet. So massaging the bottoms of the feet with the thumbs and then the tops of the feet with the fingers. So foot rubs are the best when you're starting to get a little swollen. And then I know some of you have the yoga tune-up balls. You can also use tennis balls and just roll out the feet. That will also be very helpful. And then go ahead and take that massage to the backs of the legs. So getting into the ankles and the calves. So all the circulation will also help the calves circulate blood. And then hopefully no calf cramps or limited number of calf cramps. All right. So the last thing that we're going to do is just take one hand, palm facing forward, and then press with your body. Shake that out. Switch sides. And just gently press it towards your body. And shake it all up. All right, so we're going to come into Shavasana. Any position you would like to rest in, making yourself comfortable. You can use any pillows. You can recline or come to your side. Just wiggling around until you feel settled. Maybe close the eyes, maybe just relax the eyes in their sockets. Letting go of any control of your breath. Feel your body begin to melt into the surface beneath you like honey. And give yourself permission to relax and let go. Every gentle exhalation sinks you a little deeper into relaxation. Letting go, softening the body. From this relaxed state, your body is functioning most optimally. From this place of relaxation, listen to We'll repeat aloud or silently the following affirmations, believing them to be true. I release any need to control my pregnancy or birth. I let go of any fear or apprehension. I find comfort in all of the mothers that have come before me. I trust in my body's ability to give birth to my baby. I am stronger than I give myself credit for. I am calm and relaxed. I let go with each breath I take. On your next inhalation, take a deep breath down to your baby. Big audible sigh, let that breath go. Send your baby and yourself some love, some gratitude. When you feel ready, start to feel back into your body. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and your wrists. And just begin to take any movement that feels good as you start to wake yourself back up. Eventually, when you feel ready, you roll to your side and press yourself up. Meet seated, one hand on your heart, one hand on your baby. Just taking a moment here in stillness. Breathing into the space that you created. Letting this feeling that you cultivated in your practice settle in. On your next inhalation, take a deep breath in, float the arms up. Big audible sigh out, let it go. One more time, deepest breath you've taken all week so far. I thank you, ladies, so much for taking time out and practicing with me this morning. I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.